So find a comfortable seat, bringing mind and body together into the same spot. Give yourself a moment to arrive, a moment to transition into this next hour of peace and calm, an hour of slowing down, and an hour of connecting with yourself. Taking in a big deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Today's class, the invitation is going to be building strength, but building strength from a place of kindness and love, and from a place of how you would like to feel. So not building strength from a place of power yoga, not building strength from a place of inadequacy, but building strength from a place of strength. It will also be gentle yoga. And so we can build strength, not necessarily pushing ourselves, but building strength from a gentle and kind spot. And for those of you who listened to the podcast last week, I talked about gentle yoga as feeling gentle when you do it. And so you can build strength and it can be gentle. The invitation is also for any of you that need to opt out or adapt, feel free. There's lots of different ways to do things, and I will throw different ideas out as we move along in case you need to back off. And several people emailed me also about that gentle yoga podcast and restorative yoga and said, wow, I was doing a class, it was too hard, and I switched to one of your gentle classes or evening classes, and it was amazing. And so notice what your body needs and do that. So noticing if you've arrived yet, coming back to your breath, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Engaging your belly and aligning your spine all the way up through the crown of your head. And exhale, drop your shoulders. Coming back to your belly, noticing how it's supporting your spine, supporting your seat, allowing you to use the earth, and grow tall with the next inhale, reaching the crown of your head towards the sky. And a long, smooth exhale, release and drop your shoulders. And notice that that strength comes even in a comfortable seat, in a strong, proud seat. Breathing in through your nose, once again, breathing in that pride. And breathing out the stress and the tension. And we'll flip our palms open up towards the sky in that receptive, open position. Not resisting, just allowing what is. Allowing the light in and the strength in and the air in. Breathing into your nose. And as you breathe out, letting whatever would rather leave, leave. Breathing in the thought of things you are good at and things that you are your strength. Letting go of any judgments or those weaknesses, the things you need to improve on. Breathing in the things you would like to grow, how you would like to feel as you move forward. Perhaps an invitation for strength, or perhaps rooted or calm or centered. Those are all versions of strong. Breathing out anything that interferes with that. Judgments, self-doubt, feelings of inadequacy, blowing them all out. Breathing in how you would like to feel as you move through the rest of the day, the rest of the week. Perhaps it's the ability to stand tall and be unflappable or unruffled. And exhaling whatever might get in the way of that. Breathing in this idea of building strength from a place of strength, noticing your strengths. And breathing out the concept of a self-improvement project or what you need to work on. And we'll bring a hand to heart and another hand to top. As many of you know, I offer hand to heart practice as a way to connect to your heart, but also as a way to connect to your strengths and connect to that beauty within and to move towards wherever you're going from a place of calm and groundedness and inner strength and inner trust. Trust is a form of strength. So pressing that heel of your hand into the heart space and releasing oxytocin, feel-good hormone. Noticing the top hand atop the bottom hand, rubbing skin to skin, and enjoying that sensation. And envision the cortisol melting in your saliva as you do that. Science shows that's what's happening here. Taking a moment here as you breathe in and out, noticing your chest rise and fall, to connect with this idea of building strength from a place of kindness and love. What would be kind and what would be loving? What would you like to grow to be kind and loving? I often say, what would love do? And I might ask today, what would strength do? What would trust do? What would it look like to build strength from a place of strength rather than that inadequacy, which is what we usually build strength from? And I will tell you that I was originally going to theme this class yoga for low back pain. And I thought, wait a minute, it's the strength and sort of grounding yourself and reorganizing and being kind to yourself, which is actually what eases the low back pain. So again, that's the flip, right? Being stronger actually relieves pain, makes you feel better, makes you stronger, brings your best self forward. And that's a much more pleasant place to come from. And so breathing in that breath all the way down to your belly, sending it wherever you have tightness. And exhale, let it out. And setting your own intention for this next hour. How would you like to feel at the end? Not what would you like to accomplish, but how would you like to feel? Perhaps stronger, more grounded, more comfortable, more certain, taller, proud, or you could say less wavering, less indecision, less sense of being not enough, or less sense of having a problem. What if there weren't problems to fix, just things to grow, strength to build, groundedness to build? Inviting those ideas for a moment, whatever they look like for you, as you're here, hand to heart, treating yourself with kindness and love. Noticing perhaps already that you feel stronger. Come back to the breath. Use the breath as a source of strength, bathing each cell with oxygen and clearing out that carbon dioxide and all the things that are getting in the way of your strength. Perhaps that patina on the penny or the green that's covering up the copper. Can you just shave a little bit of that off to notice the inner strength and brightness from within? Exhale, let it out. And when you're ready, we'll open our eyes, lower our hands, and just let the light in gently, kindly, and notice how you feel. And I invite you to switch to the cross of your legs with kindness as one foot might be going to sleep. And noticing that this side is your uncomfortable side, and just let it be for a moment. See if you can find stability in your hips on the uncomfortable side. And engaging your belly, reaching both arms up towards the sky. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms up towards the sky, shimmy your elbows past your ears, grow tall all the way from your root into the earth, through the palms, reaching tall, stretching, taking in a huge breath in. Use your belly to support you here, especially as you're on your not comfortable side. Breathe in, grow tall. And exhale, release, and drop your shoulders gently. Inhale, release, tall, tall, tall. Exhale, round your belly, suck your navel all the way back, press your palms towards the front, and enjoy the release in the lower back. Using your core here to support your back, reach your palms all the way forward, allow your head to reach forward, crown of the head. Inhale, suck your navel back towards your spine, slight arch back as you reach tall. Exhale, round forward, coming into seated cat. Use your core here to support you as you're lifted up on something, and you're on your opposite uncomfortable side. Inhale, reach tall towards the sky. On this opposite side, take in an inhale, reaching tall, grow tall, tall, tall. And you're in straight line, not slightly arched here. Exhale, tip to the left today. Right side body lengthens. Use your root here as your source of strength. Use all those tiny muscles. Inhaling as you're towards your side, tug a little bit farther towards the left as you exhale. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, tip with intention to the right. Root the left hip downward. Enjoy the left side body. Exhale, let it out, blowing it out. One more big inhale. Exhale, release gently towards the right side. Come back to center. Inhale with a slight arch back once again. And exhale, round forward. Press those palms all the way forward, hugging your belly all the way in towards your spine. And reach tall once again. We'll open our arms out towards the side walls. Press your palms into the side walls and pinch your scapula, engaging every tiny muscle in the arms. Spread your fingers wide, every little tiny muscle fiber working. Exhale, release, relax your hands. And we'll do that once again. Spread your fingers, pinch your scapula, press your arms into the side walls. Lots of things waking up, lots of warmth. Exhale, release. Bringing your arms in front of you, wrap them elbow under elbow, right under left if you want a side, and wiggle your fingers to the midline of the scapula, to the medial edge, to the best of your ability. Lift your elbows up and round forward, squeezing yourself, giving yourself a huge hug. Drop your head and neck. Big breath in, squeeze tight. Use your strength here to take good care of you. Exhale, let it out. Inhale, lift up to neutral, untangle your arms, press them into the side wall. Press, press, press. Use every bit of muscle. Pinch your scapula together. Enjoy the release. Spread your fingers wide and release. And we'll cross the opposite side. Left elbow under right, huge hug. Treating both sides equally with kindness. Find the medial edge of the scapula if you can. Lifting your elbows up over your chest with kindness. No judgment. And round forward. Drop your head and neck and enjoy. Big breath in and squeeze tight. And exhale, release, let go. Bring your elbows back up to shoulder height. Untangle, stretch your arms wide, and we'll lower hands. Draw your shoulders up to your ears, pinch your occiput in there. And exhale, release. Palms will open towards the front. And just allow that blood flow and the tingles to go everywhere. Wiggle your fingers. And we'll take out whatever you happen to be sitting on. Unless it's a low blanket, you can keep that. And move the flesh of your seat out of the way, once again with kindness. Keep your knees bent gently. You're going to engage your belly once again. Tilt your, your pelvic bowl forward. Puff your chest out towards the front. Align your spine all the way up towards the sky and reach your arms out and up towards the sky. Huge inhale, grow tall. Use your belly here to protect your spine, to grow your spine. Yoga can make you an inch taller over time. Reaching tall, using every tiny muscle. Exhale, fold forward towards your toes, towards your ankles. And as you release, you can lower your knees to whatever feels good, releasing your head and neck. And enjoying the back of the legs, the whole back body here. Bend your elbows and place your forearms on your legs where they land. Release the head and neck, breathing into every tight pocket here. When we grow strong from a place of love and kindness, you bathe every cell with oxygen, treating it well, giving it what it needs to grow strong. We can't grow strength from an empty spot. Point your toes and send some kindness into the front of the shins. And flex your ankles, bring your toes towards your knees and enjoy that sensation. Lots of sensations. Spread your toes wide, using every tiny muscle fiber, tendon, ligament in the toes. And exhale, release and relax. Slide forward another smidge, release your head and neck a tiny bit more. And we'll slowly slide up the shins to the knees, to the thighs. You'll bring your hands behind you in like a cupcake shape so you don't squish the frosting. Press your fingers into the floor, your root into the floor. Your chest is going to puff forward, shoulders down and back, coming into Dandasana or staff pose. Your heels may lift up off the earth. Everything is engaged here. Everything is realigning, breathing into your belly. Using your solar plexus and your sacral plexus, that belly region, as your source of internal strength and safety and groundedness. Exhale, let it go. Inhale this time all the way down to your root, the bottom of your spine, into the earth. Everything pressing, engage your heels and toes pressing towards the front. And exhale, release, relax. We're going to sweep our feet around, coming into hands and knees. Knees will be directly under your hips and your hands will be directly under your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide like equal pie shapes, planting your palms flat on the earth to protect your wrists. Finding your center and your core here. Inhale for a cow, crown of the head reaches forward. Enjoy bathing every nook and cranny of the front of the belly and the lower back with breath. Exhale, round and suck your navel all the way up. Drop your head, using every tiny fiber here to reach tall, engage. Inhale for cow. Once again, opposite direction. Notice the tops of your feet on the earth. Use them as a sense of stability as you round back up into cat. Every muscle fiber working here. Come back to tabletop. Stretch your right leg long. You're going to come onto the toe of the right foot. The right leg is going to be long. Even out your hips so they're square to the floor. Engage your belly. And when you're ready, raise your right foot up towards your hip height. Keep it a little below the hip, not above the hip. You don't want your back hyperextending. Take a moment to pay attention to your belly. Press your heel into the back wall. Come back to the breath. Don't hold your breath. And when you're ready, raise your left hand long, 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 reaching in opposite direction as long as you can. Heel in one direction, fingers in the other. Huge breath in. Exhale, bring your elbow to your knee underneath you. Inhale, stretch long, long, long. Press your heel into the back wall, fingers into the front wall. Bringing elbow to knee. Stretch long. We'll do one more. Do it how it works for you. No judgment if you're tippy. Taking your time, no hurry. And stretch long, long, long in the opposite direction. Press the heel into the back wall. Reach the fingers long in front for one more moment. Lower that left hand to the floor. Lower your right toes. Drop your right heel to the floor. Reach your right arm up towards the sky. Coming into gate pose. Drop your right arm over your right ear. Grow long. Reach with grace as far along as you can. We're going to raise that right foot up to hip height to the best of your ability. And balance here. Wiggle your fingers. Press your heel in one direction. Noticing your strength here. Noticing how everything's working together. Pretty cool. Reach your right arm up towards the sky, coming into a little bit more balance. Spread your fingers wide. You can point your toe and flex your ankle here. Lowering your right foot to the floor, right hand to the floor. Come back to hands and knees. And enjoy a cat-cow just to release. And we'll come back to neutral tabletop. Spread your left foot long onto your toe. Find your center and your balance. Even out your hips. And when you're ready, inhale, lift up that left heel to a little below hip height. Come back to the breath as you're here and find stable. When you're ready, reach your left hand long, press in either direction and enjoy. Notice your strength here too. Notice how everything works together. Bring your elbow to knee underneath you with love. Perhaps a kiss between the elbow and the knee, and stretch them long in opposite directions. Enjoy. Elbow to knee. Stretching long in opposite direction. And once more, use your breath to exhale as you kiss the elbow and the knee, and stretching long in either direction. Press for a moment in either direction. Lengthen and grow tall through your belly, through your heel, and lower that right hand, pardon me. Fingers spread wide to support you. Drop your left toe, your left heel, reach the left arm up towards the sky, coming into gate pose, enjoying it. Big cleansing breaths here. Exhale, release. Lower the left arm over the left ear with grace and enjoy that stretch to begin. Stretching with kindness and love. Stretching and growth is required for the strength building also. So taking that time, enjoying it. When you're ready, you can lift your left heel, if that works for you. Whoop. And notice if you're tippy without judgment. When you're ready, you can raise your left hand. Notice your balance. If you need to kickstand that bottom foot, if you bring it out wider, you'll have a better stability. Just creates a stronger base. Noticing what's needed for your own strength is beautiful. Lower that left hand to the floor, left foot to the floor, coming back to hands and knees. We'll come back to child's pose for a moment. Reach your rear end towards your heels. Wiggle your fingers all the way forward. Stretching, stretching, stretching. Lower your forehead towards the floor. Enjoy the release. Send the breath to every nook and cranny. Nourishing it. It's kind of like diastole, which I often talk about. You have to fill before you can have systole and eject. Same thing with building strength. You have to take good care. You have to show up with kindness and love. You have to be replete. You can't whip yourself into good shape. You can't be mean to yourself and grow strength and confidence and calm and grounded. Walk your hands to one side, the right side. Bring your left hand atop the right and enjoy that left side body, sending breath to every nook and cranny here. Huge breath in and all the way down into your root as well. Taking good care of your root chakra or the base of your spine, that's where a sense of safety comes. And that's really where strength comes. If we feel unstable or twangy or off kilter, it's very hard to feel strong and grounded. Walk your hands towards the other side. Left hand on the left corner of the mat, your right hand atop. Enjoy the right side body here. Exhale, let it out. 2 more breaths here. Pour the breath everywhere it needs to go. Notice your hips sink lower with each breath. And we'll come back to center. Pause for 2 breaths to 1, allow yourself to enjoy this. And 2, think about what are already your strengths. How can you build strength from a place of strength? Even just one strength, if you struggle with that. Or maybe you have a whole list and then enjoy those. We'll let those sink in for 2 more breaths here. Big cleansing breaths. Bathing your lower back and your hips before we begin to move a little bit more and grow a little bit more strength, treating them kindly. When you're ready, we'll come back to hands and knees. And if you need another moment there, just take one. Coming back to hands and knees, we'll walk our hands forward, a handprint, curl your toes, and shoot your hips up towards the sky. Coming into downward dog. You can choose if you want your feet together or wide as the mat or somewhere in between. Walk the dog, enjoy your calves, sway your hips side to side. Enjoy a little bit. Press your hands into the floor and reach your hips towards the sky, forehead towards the floor. And enjoy that. Reaching your hips. Your hips are the apex. Lifting up onto your tiptoes as high as you can. Hips reaching even higher. Forehead reaches farther towards the floor. Exhale, lower your heels towards the floor and enjoy that. Huge breath in.
and out. One more big breath here. As you're in downward dog, you're building strength in your shoulders. Send the breath wherever it needs to go. Inhale, raise your right foot towards the sky, coming into three-legged dog. Press that right heel towards the back wall, everything engaged. Bend your right knee, open your hip, roll the right ankle one direction and the other. Come back to center. Huge breath in as you press your right heel towards the back wall. Exhale, bring your right foot between your hands. We're going to come up into a high lunge in whatever way works for you. Reaching your arms up towards the sky directly today. Find your balance. The high lunge, the back toe is facing directly towards the front. Both toes are jet landing towards the front. Your back heel is off the earth. Your arms are reaching tall. Your front knee is bending, not in front of your ankle. Tack your right hip back a smidge, left hip forward. Inhale, reach tall, grow tall here. And exhale, sink in, releasing that left hip flexor and lots of little muscles supporting you. Inhale right into your belly, to your navel, reach your fingers tall. And exhale, sink in. Bring your hands to heart center, press your thumbs into your sternum. Straight your front knee and bend it. Inhale straight. And exhale, bend. Inhale, straight that front knee. And exhale, bend it. Pause here. Find your strength and stability in that front foot. Lift up all 5 toes, root them downward. We're going to press off the back foot and come into warrior 3, which is a balance pose. You're going to hop your back foot forward about a foot and shift your weight forward into that front foot. Raise your back leg, coming to balance in warrior 3. You can keep your hands at heart center and notice the micro movements and all the little things required to keep you balancing here. Pay attention to the tiny muscles. Send them the breath and the kindness, using your toes to balance like the babies. Left toes reaching towards the back wall. If you wish, you can extend your arms wide if that would feel good, or it's fun, or behind you. Bringing them back to heart center. You'll drop your back foot. We're going to drop it into a warrior 2 position, which is on an angle. Cartwheel your arms open. Coming into warrior 2, you're going to bend your front knee. Make sure your knee does not come in front of your ankle. Arms reach long in either direction. Gazes over your right middle finger. Pause with a few breaths here. Huge breaths. Taking good care. On the next exhale, dip that left hand down the left leg, reaching the right arm up, coming into peaceful warrior. Fanning open the front right ribs, breathing into them, bathing them with breath. Exhale, let it out. Coming back to warrior 2. Pause here for a breath. Lower your right elbow to your right thigh. Coming into side angle pose, reach your left hand over, whole left body stretches. Make sure that you're not holding yourself up with that right hand. Use your belly. You're just resting your right elbow and right forearm lightly on the right thigh. One more breath here. As you come out, come back to warrior 2. Hop your left foot out a smidge. We're going to shift to warrior 1. Reaching tall. Your back heel will be close to the floor. You may need to narrow your stance a little bit. Your hips twist towards the front. Both arms up towards the sky. Right toes forward. Huge breath in here and out. Pouring the breath through the hands all the way down through your belly, down through your legs, which might be making some noise or shaking a little. Send the breath there. Huge breath in and out. Open your arms out towards the side. Clasp them at your sacrum. Press your fists towards the floor, shoulders down and back. Your chest is going to puff forward like crazy here. Breathing in.
Drop your chin to chest and enjoy your neck muscles here. If it's okay for your neck, release as you press your hands towards the floor. If it works for you, you can fold forward into a humble warrior. Your hands will reach towards the sky. Your head will come to the inside of the right knee. As I mentioned, today's class is more strength building. And so if your body's not ready or is not interested today, just stay upright, drop your shoulders and enjoy the release. For those of you who folded forward, let your hands fall forward a little bit farther and enjoy your neck and the front of your shoulders, sending some love to that right hip. Breathe, don't hold your breath. Huge cleansing breaths. One more here. As you let your hands fall forward a smidge more. Exhale, release, lower your hands to your sacrum and slowly rising upright. Press your fist towards the floor and pause here. Let the blood flow reorganize. Huge breath in, once again, pouring it anywhere it needs to go as you press your fist towards the floor, shoulders down and back. Releasing your hands, lower them to either side of your foot. Turn your back toes to face the front. You're going to take your right hand, bring it on the inside of your right foot and wiggle your right toes to the outside. Lower your left knee and we're going to, sliding it back, we're going to come into a lizard pose just to release your groin. Roll onto the outer edge of your right foot and your right knee is going to roll outward. Your pelvis will open a bit. Stay upright just to send some breath into all of those areas. Huge breaths here. One more cleansing breath, pouring it everywhere. Curl your back toes, lift your left knee up if you have space. You'll bring your hand to the outer edge of the right foot. You're going to roll back onto the sole of your foot, wiggle your foot forward, press into the back toes, hop forward into a pyramid pose. If you have blocks, use them here. Release the hamstring of the right on the right side. You can shift your weight forward and back, find your center, play with your hips. Enjoy it. Huge cleansing breaths. Pour them into the back of the right leg. Exhale, release, and fold forward. Allow yourself to pause and enjoy and appreciate for a moment all these things that work, the sensations. Appreciate being in your body. We spend so much time not appreciating being in our body, noticing what's wrong. Notice what's right, what works, what feels good. All the things there that you were able to do, whatever they were, not focusing on what didn't work. And when you feel complete, hop your back foot forward to meet the front. Pause for a moment, widen your feet, grasp your elbows, and sink into an easy forward fold. Release and have a little sway. Rock side to side. Shift your weight forward and back. Find center. Releasing your hands, engage your belly and rolling up with intention, inch by inch, unrolling pearls on a string. Enjoying coming upright and pause when you get there. Let the blood flow adjust, giving it a moment, letting it come into your fingers and your toes. A couple of huge breaths here. No hurry to move on. Refilling. Exhale, let it out. 2 more big breaths here. And we'll bring a hand to heart and another hand atop when ready. Taking a moment here to once again appreciate your strengths. Appreciate what works. And attend to this idea of growing strength from a place of strength. What would that look like for you? Rather than a place of this is what I need to work on. This is where I'm inadequate. This is my next project. But what if you were growing strength from a place of kindness and love? from a place of wanting to feel stronger and more grounded, more comfortable, more proud. And if thoughts get in the way, just allow them to be there. Breathing in here, notice your chest rise and fall. We'll lower our hands, open your eyes, bringing your arms out and up towards the sky. Hands will come together, slight arch back, and we'll fold forward, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift. Your rear end's going to stick out. Your crown of the head reaches forward, back is flat. Exhale, forward fold. Place your hands on the earth. Step back to plank and pause. Find your center and notice your strength here in plank. Spreading your fingers wide to protect your wrists. Both palms will flatten to the earth to protect your wrists. And if your wrists don't like this, come down to your hands and knees. Shift forward onto your tiptoes. Bend your knees, bring your elbows in, and we'll lower down chaturanga. You'll untuck your toes, rolling down. Forehead comes to the earth. Pause with your front body on the earth for a moment. Weight is out of your hands. And notice everything connecting to the floor. Parts of our body we rarely appreciate: the front of the hips, the tops of the feet, the forehead, the palms. Your hands are at shoulder height. Inhale, gently lift your head, open your chest, shining your heart forward, coming into a low cobra, engaging the lower back with kindness. Exhale, lower down. We'll do that once again. Inhale, lifting up, crown of the head reaches forward, moving slow. Slow is often better. Noticing the engagement of everything in the front body. Your heart shines forward. Exhale, lower down. Curling your toes, press up through to downward dog in whatever way works for you. And find a good downward dog that feels good to you. That is what a good downward dog is. A lot of people say, am I doing it right? What feels good is usually right for your body. The stance, the feet position. And it might be different on a different day. Pressing into your hands, straight your elbows, put your humeral heads in the shoulder sockets, reach your hips up and back towards the sky, lower your forehead, and enjoy. Big breath in and out. When you're ready, engage the ball of the right foot, engage your belly, raise your left foot towards the sky. Press your heel towards the back wall, three-legged dog. Pressing, pressing. Next, exhale, bend your knee, roll your hip open, roll your ankle. Enjoy both directions. Enjoy the hip release. Re-square your hips. Press your heel to the back wall. Big breath in. Exhale, bring your foot between your hands, coming into a high lunge on this side. When you arrive, take a moment to find your balance, your center. Notice how long your high lunge should be, the length of your stance, the width of your stance. Give yourself a good, strong base. When you have a strong base, it's much easier to build strength. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Your back foot, once again, is not on an angle here. It's facing forward. Inhale, reach tall. And exhale, bend into that front knee. Make sure your knee does not extend beyond your ankle. Huge breath in here once again. Exhale, sink in, sending the breath into that right front of the hip. Bring your hands to heart center, palms together, thumbs into the sternum for support and balance. Inhale, straight your front knee. And exhale, bend, sink low. Inhale, straight that front knee. Exhale, bend and relax into it. Inhale, straight your front knee. And exhale, bend and pause. Find your belly and your inner strength. Press your thumbs into your sternum. Hop that back foot forward about a footprint. Land, once again, focus on the belly. Shift your weight into the front foot, lifting up into warrior three. Reaching your right foot up. It may come to hip height, it may be lower. Just do what works for you today. And it may be different than what was on the other side. If you wish to reach your arms long out to the sides, Superman, do that. Have a little fun and play with it. When you're ready, you'll lower your back foot to warrior two, cartwheel your arms open, readjust your feet as you arrive. Your back heel should come to the arch of the front foot or to the heel. We often call that heel to heel alignment. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, sink into that front knee, coming into warrior two, and pause here. Have some fun, enjoy it. A couple of breaths. Gazes over the front middle finger. The warrior poses are the expression of strong. And so enjoy being a warrior woman here. I think we're all women. Growing the crown of your head towards the sky, growing tall, tall, tall. Exhale, sink in a little bit further. Your left hip is going to tack back and your right hip a little bit forward. You're not totally square to the front. Huge inhale. Exhale, drop your right hand down the right thigh. Reach those left fingers towards the crease of the wall and the ceiling. Breathing into your left rib cage and enjoying it fully. Bathing all of those distant alveoli with breath. Coming back to warrior two, pause, gaze over the left middle finger. Gifting yourself time to transition. Inhale, lower the left forearm, reach your right arm over, coming into side angle pose. Enjoying that fully, the whole right side body. Exhale, release. Cartwheeling back up to warrior two. You're going to twist your arms towards the front. Hop your right foot out, coming into a warrior one here. Front knee is bent. Your back foot is on a little bit more of an angle. There is a calf stretch. Your right heel is reaching towards the floor and your arms are reaching towards the sky. Huge breath in here and yet another warrior pose. Notice your strength as you pour the breath in here. Is it the heart strength? Is it the belly strength? Is it the feet that are the strength? Notice where you feel the strongest. Exhale, sink in a little bit more. Sink into a place that feels strong. Bring your arms out and reclasp them at your sacrum. Hands will press towards the floor, shoulders down and back. Drop your chin to chest and enjoy as your heart is shining forward. Bring your gaze back to the front. For those of you who wish, we'll come forward into a humble warrior. Bring your head to the inside of the left knee and your hands will reach up. If this doesn't work for you, don't let the judgment come in. Just hang out there and enjoy the neck, shoulder release. Your legs are working. Lots of things are working, even if you opt out of this pose. Opting out is often a sign of strength. Reach your hands towards the front. Let your shoulders open. 3 big breaths. Notice the shaking and the wobbling if it's there, and just embrace it. Slowly rise up. Press your fists to the floor. Let the neck and shoulders release and let the blood flow even. When you're ready, release your hands. Lower them to either side of that front foot. You'll take your left hand to the inside of the left foot. Wiggle it to the outer edge of the mat. You're going to lower your back knee down, slide your back foot back, coming into a lizard pose. You're going to roll onto the outer edge of the left foot. The sole of the foot's going to lift up and your left knee is going to roll outward and the groin's going to open. Be really kind to yourself here. Don't overdo it. And I encourage you to stay upright for this pose. You can slide your back knee back farther if your knee is bothering you. You can put it on a blanket. Or you can come into pyramid pose already if this one you don't like. Opting out is often a sign of strength. Huge breaths here, pouring it into any pocket of tightness.
Notice for a moment where the breath is needed. Sending the breath where it's needed is also an act of strength. You can redefine strength as taking good care of your body and allowing it to move through the world from its most capable spot, whatever that looks like right now. Coming back onto the sole of the left foot, wiggling your foot towards center, hands on either side. Curl the back toes, lifting up. You'll hop the back foot forward. We're going to come into pyramid pose. It's a fairly narrow pyramid pose. Some of you will want blocks under your hands. Tuck your left hip back, right hip forward, and send the breath to the back of that left leg. Use a breath to flush out the tightness, flush out the tension. We hold a lot of emotions in the tightness in the backs of our legs. It's a place where we tend to grip. Inviting softness. Perhaps you can't release, but you can soften. And if you think about it, softness is this kind of sign of strength. Softness is part of strength. When we overgrip and grasp, we tend to wobble and tip. Softening in is part of growing strength, and it's the kind and loving part of growing strength. Embracing where you are. 3 more breaths here. When you feel complete, hop your back foot forward to meet the front foot. You're going to widen your feet and sink your hips back down and low, coming into chair pose. Your hips will sink back. Your hands will come to heart center. For some of you, you'll reach your arms long. I have a shoulder issue, so I always keep mine in. And that's kind. Sinking down and low, enjoying your chair pose, gazing forward. Heart is shining forward. Enjoying whatever sensations you have. And if you hate chair pose, let yourself hate it. Do what works for you. And we'll lower our hands, reach our hips up, drop our head, release. Engage your belly and roll up inch by inch by inch by inch. Your head will be the last to rise. Letting the blood flow pour down. Give yourself time to arrive. And when you have arrived, bring your hands to your hips. You may want to come to face this side of your mat like I am. If you can still see the screen, you can also just step off of it. We're going to step our feet wide into a second position with your feet. Wiggling them, getting a nice strong base in your feet. Sink your hips down. Your knees will be over your ankles and your toes. Coming into what we call goddess pose. Sink those hips down and low. Draw your elbows back behind you. Your heart's going to puff forward. It feels a little funky. Sinking down and low, even a little bit more. Raise your right heel and lower it. And your left heel and lower it. Huge breath in. Sink down a little bit more. Bring your arms up to a cactus shape if that feels good. Draw your elbows back and bring them down to your waist. Reaching them up like a star and down to your waist. And as you stretch your arms tall this time, straighten your knees, coming into a star pose. Bring your hands back to your hips. Heel toe your feet to the front. Engaging your feet into the earth, you'll lift up all 10 toes and lower them down. Lower your hands by your side. We're going to bring our arms out and up, bringing your hands together. Palms will come together. You're going to have your index fingers together like a steeple. Huge inhale, grow tall. Exhale, tip to the left like a crescent moon. This is part of the moon salutation. Breathing into that left side body and exhale, let it out. One more breath. Send those index fingers towards the right, opening every nook and cranny of the left. Exhale, enjoy it. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, tip to the left, crescent moon to the left.
Breathing into your right side body here. Huge breaths. Extend those fingers towards the left here. Reach your arms towards the sky, opening them out down towards the floor. Pause and arrive. Let the blood flow tingle, wiggle your fingers, release your toes. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, drop your occiput in, exhale, release, and enjoy. Roll your shoulders back 3 times, releasing any kinks or tightness. Rolling them forward 3 times. And pause, notice how you feel. We're going to come down to the floor. Coming directly to lie on your mat. Begin with your knees bent. You can roll down with your knees bent, engaging your belly, and arrive, or come to the mat in whatever way works for your body. No right or wrong way. Allow yourself to arrive here, noticing the parts of your body that are touching the floor. Knees are bent today. Huge breath in. And just enjoying the cells that are awakened and alive and potentially stronger. Notice that by even sending blood flow and care and compassion to different cells, they grow stronger. What you practice grows stronger. What you nourish grows stronger. Bring your knees together, feet apart. Reach your arms over your head in an easy cactus shape. Being kind to your shoulders. Huge breath in. Drop your knees to the right. Left knee will reach towards the front right corner of the mat. Enjoying that psoas, allowing your heart to roll on its side here. If it feels good, gaze to the left. Bring your knees back to, gaze back to center, knees back to center, readjust, sacrum, shoulders, whatever is needed. If your arms need to be by your side or out as a T, do that. Huge breath in. Drop your knees to the left. Right knee is going to fall towards the front left corner of the mat. Enjoy the front of your right hip, your psoas. Letting some of these deeper muscles stretch actually allows more strength. Bathing them with the breath, they rarely get attention, and that psoas does so much work to hold us upright. If you have room and it would feel good, gaze to the right. Notice even that tiny micro movement. What a big shift. Allowing a little more softening, a little more release. Bringing your gaze back to center, your knees back to center. You'll walk your feet in and your knees open so they are hips width. Knees are shining towards the sky. Bring your hands down by your sides. Raise your right foot in the air. Your shin will be parallel, knee will be at 90 degrees. And pause there for a moment. Raise your left knee to meet the right, pausing in a reverse tabletop. Raise your arms up to the sky. This is that reverse, it's like the dying bug, but reverse table is the other name for it. Your palms will be reaching, facing towards one another. Drop your right arm towards over your head and your left leg long in front. Enjoying the length from one end to the other. Inhale, bringing them back to center. Exhale, drop the left arm, right leg stretching long. Enjoy the length, bringing them back to center. We'll do that one more time, reorganizing and aligning. Come back to center. And if this doesn't feel good, hang out in reverse table. It feels good too. Coming back to center. You'll lower one leg and then the other. Bring one hand to heart, one hand to belly. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees apart, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana, reclining butterfly. And just notice how you feel right here. Softening, releasing, inviting relaxation in anything that feels tight or anything that's gripping. Breathing into it. Five deep breaths, letting those inner groin, inner hips release fully. If it's too much and you have blocks, slide them under your knees or pillow under your knees, or even a big hardback book can suffice. I highly recommend blocks for my practices and for all of the practices. They're really kind and loving, and they allow you to grow stronger and soften more. We think that doing it without is stronger, but doing it with actually allows more strength and more release and more joy in a yoga practice. Allowing yourself here to feel gentle. Inviting that idea of gentleness into your practice. What would building strength from a gentle, kind, and loving place look like as you move forward after practice? Taking a moment here to notice anything that's still gripping. The longer you're here, the more you notice. And send a breath there. You need to walk your feet a little farther forward to be kind to your hips. You can do that. It also might be less kind. So notice what feels good to your hips and do that. Notice what allows your breath to slow and tight things to soften. And when you feel complete here, bring your hands to your outer thighs and draw your knees together gently. Draw your knees into your chest, bring your hands to your shins, and just have a little rock. Massage your back with kindness. It can be gentle or even more vigorous, depending what feels good to your lower back. Treat it well, be kind. And pause in stillness when you're ready. If this works for your body, draw your forehead to your knees, squeezing tight into a ball. Tight, 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 tight. Exhale, release your feet to the floor. Spreading your feet long, we'll come into Shavasana or a final resting pose. I like to think of Shavasana as integration and allowing the work to seep into every nook and cranny as you rest and restore. Letting your feet fall towards the outer edges of the mat. If it works for you, flip your palms open 6 inches from your waist. If it feels better, you can also do hand to heart, hand to belly. Notice what feels best in the space that you're in and the place that your body and mind and spirit are in today. Find the spot that allows you to soften in. Let your body breathe for itself. Let every muscle relax and soften. You can let go if that's accessible to you. And if it's not, invite softness. Perhaps wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Take in an inhale. And as you exhale, soften in. Release, relax. Allow yourself to fall into a place of peace, calm, restoration, healing, rejuvenation. I invite you to stay as long as you want in Shavasana. It's one of the beautiful things about Zoom and YouTube yoga. If you have time, gift yourself more time here. What might feel like one of the most unproductive poses is one of the most productive. It's like diastole, refilling, restoring, to gift you what your body needs to do all the other things. For those of you that are ready to come out, gently deepen your breath. Slowly wiggle fingers and toes. Taking a big, deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. It would feel good. Reach tall in either direction with fingers and toes, stretching tall, like you're waking up from a long winter's nap. And exhale, release. Draw your knees into your chest and roll over to one side. Taking time to transition well, time to arrive back in your body. No rush, no hurry. Letting the sensations integrate. When you're ready, press into the earth and slowly come up to a seat where we began. And when you arrive, find your sit bones, reconnect the ischial spines into the earth, tilt your pelvis forward and grow your spine. Bring a hand to heart and another hand to top. And checking in. Thanking yourself for taking the time for yourself today. Taking a moment to reconnect with the strength within. And this idea of building strength from a place of strength. Building strength from a place of kindness and love. Building strength by taking care of yourself. Thank you all so much for practicing with me this morning. May you all have a week filled with kindness and love and feeling strong, proud, and centered. Namaste.